In 1975, the same year I was born, scientists at the National Academy of Sciences made a claim that should have changed agriculture forever. They described a single plant as a supermarket on a stalk, a crop capable of feeding people, enriching soil, and sustaining itself without industrial inputs. Half a century later, most people have never heard its name. At the same time, the fertilizer industry has grown into a $200 billion global business. The commercial seed market adds tens of billions more. And this plant threatens both systems at their foundation. It doesn't need fertilizer. It doesn't rely on patented seed. It creates its own nitrogen. It reseeds itself. And it feeds families for generations. This is the story of the winged bean. Known to science as, I am going to try to pronounce this, Sophocarpus tetragonalibus. The winged bean is one of the most complete food plants ever cultivated. Nearly every part of it is edible. Its seeds contain 35 to 40% protein, higher than soybeans. Its leaves can be eaten like spinach. Its flowers are edible and lightly sweet. Its pods are harvested young like green beans. And beneath the soil, the plant produces tubers with nearly 20% protein, an astonishing figure for a root crop. 5 distinct foods, one plant. But its most remarkable trait isn't what it produces above ground, it's what happens below it. The winged bean forms a partnership with bacteria living in nodules along its roots. These bacteria pull nitrogen directly from the atmosphere and convert it into a form plants can use. The result is a crop that fertilizes itself while improving the soil around it. Grow winged beans in a bed one year, and the crops that follow will perform better. This kind of biology doesn't fit well inside a system built on annual purchases. In 1975, the National Academy of Sciences published a report titled The Winged Bean, a high-protein crop for the tropics. Inside, researchers suggested it could rival soybeans and possibly surpass them in value because every part of the plant could be used. Pilot programs were launched in Southeast Asia, Africa, and the Pacific. Research stations were established. Distribution plans were drafted. And then, without explanation, the funding disappeared. The programs closed. The research stopped. There was no crop failure, no disease outbreak, no public scandal. Just silence. To understand why, you have to follow the economics. Modern agriculture depends on repeat purchases. New seed every year, fertilizer every season, chemical inputs on a schedule. The winged bean breaks that model. It breeds true. It saves seed. It makes its own fertilizer. It thrives with minimal intervention. From a scientific perspective, it is exceptional. From a profit perspective, it is a liability. Plants that create independence don't generate customers. And yet, in parts of Southeast Asia and the Pacific, the winged bean never vanished. Families continue to grow it quietly. Markets still sell the pods. Farmers still harvest the tubers. In communities where industrial agriculture never fully took hold, the knowledge was never lost. It was simply ignored by systems that couldn't monetize it. Identifying the plant is straightforward. The winged bean is a vigorous climbing vine that can reach 10 to 15 feet with support. Its leaves grow in groups of 3. Its flowers are purple or blue, and surprisingly ornamental. And its pods are unmistakable. 4 ridges running the full length, giving the plant its name. It thrives in heat, full sun, and consistent moisture. It does not need heavy fertilization. In fact, too much nitrogen reduces its productivity. In warm climates, it can be direct sown. In cooler regions, it can be started indoors, or grown in protected spaces. This plant wasn't erased because it failed. It was erased because it worked too well. It fed people without dependence. It enriched soil instead of exhausting it. It allowed families to save seed instead of buying it. The winged bean is a reminder that some of the most powerful food systems were never meant to be industrial. They were meant to be shared, passed down, and grown quietly. The knowledge was never gone. It was waiting. And now that you know its name, it's no longer buried.